Today's lesson is topic 2.5, Geometric Patterns. The objective for today is that you will be able to extend patterns of cubes and tiles. Like always, please make sure that you have the title written down in your notes. In your notes, I want you to draw these pictures that you see here. Do your best and don't worry about how exact your drawing is. Look at the towers of cubes. Do you see a pattern in the number of cubes in each tower? Draw the towers below and then draw the next two towers. Well, based on what I can see, every time we start with this base, because I see that here, and then I added one. I have my base, and then another one was added to that. So what I'm assuming I need to do this time would be to start with my base of 6. So in your notes, you should be making sure that you are drawing your next one with your base of 6. So I'm going to draw what we already had previously and add one more to it. So that would be the next one. Here is my next one. Again, I start with what I already had and add one to it. In your notes, you should have a table that you glued in, which says number of stories and number of cubes. We're going to use this table to help interpret the pictures that we are drawing. The table shows the number of stories and the number of cubes for the towers that you just made. So we're going to try and complete our table with the pictures that we just drew. So we have already completed the first one, which had 3 total stories. Stories are kind of like levels. So we have 3 levels here, and there was a total number of 6 cubes. And the next one, we had 4 levels with a total number of 7 cubes. So if you counted up each one of your individual cubes, you would find your total. Looking at the next one that we completed, we still had our base of 3 levels and added in 2 levels after that. Well, added in an extra level, which gave us 2 more on top of our base, adding our total number to be 8 total cubes. Go ahead and count the number of cubes that you have in your last drawing. When you add all of those up, you start with your base of 6, then I have 7, 8, 9, 4, 6 stories. Then when I have my 7th story, I have 10. So in your table, you should be filling in your blanks. So here I had 9. With 7 rows, I had 10. Well, if I look at the table, it's pretty easy for me to start to see the pattern that is here. So on this one, if I kept going with my pattern, I'd have 11, then 12, then 13, but then this last one has 100 stories. So now I need to take a look at what happens with the number of stories and the number of cubes. Well, every single time, I'm noticing that you add 3 to the number of stories. So my rule on this one would be add 3. Well, if I use that for my last one, that would mean that if I had 100 stories, there would be 103 cubes available. In your notes, I would like for you to draw this table and go ahead and draw out the cubes that are drawn there for you. Your job is to look for a pattern between the number of stories and the number of blocks. Feel free to write a rule for this one as well, and then fill in the blanks on your table. Have this ready to go in your journals.